Baby, let me upgrade you. I'm live, right? I'm live. Welcome, 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 welcome. It is 8:05 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you know what that means. It is Monday, February 19th, 2024, and we are live in the light room. We are live, we are here. Go ahead, check in with your green hearts. Come into this space, be present in this space. You know you can ask questions in this space. You know you can add your commentary in this space. We look for it. I'll even highlight it, right? So welcome to the light room. Go ahead and share this live with your family and friends while I set up all the other things to make it possible for everybody to be a part of this conversation. So go ahead and check into the light room, check in with your green heart so that I know you're here. My guest is backstage. Look, y'all, backstage. Oh, we getting fancy in the light room. We have a backstage now. So my guest is backstage in the green room, getting ready. And I'm telling you, I am so looking forward to this conversation. This is the last live for Black History Month. I'm glad we have this opportunity. I'm glad it is still Black. I just, so you know, happy Black History Month. I hope you have celebrated. I hope you have found out some things for yourself that you didn't know. I hope you have shared things with your family members, the next generation that they might not have known, because, you know, Black history isn't taught the way it is to us. So Saturday, I had conversations with my younger cousins, just giving them even the backstory of Black history. You know, how the origin of it, how it was Negro History Week before it became Black History Month. And, you know, she said she had never heard that. She didn't know who Dr. Carter Woodson was. And, you know, so I appreciate the opportunity that I had to share Black history with my beautiful Black little cousin. So if you haven't done so, share, go and I don't care, find it on Google real quick and put it in your head and act like you know it. But the next generation needs to hear from whence they came. I know they talk about this, and she said she had only heard about slavery, right? We are more than that. They are more than that. But sometimes when you haven't seen anything other than that, then you think that's what you are. So, but welcome to the light room. We're not talking about that today. We're talking about self-care. And even in that, my mother is here. Shout out to my mama. Even in that, right, I find myself sometimes getting more into history more than I have been in the past. And it's heavy. It's heavy. And so when you learn the truth, right, like Pharrell said, it'll piss you off. And so I have to be mindful of the things that I'm taking in and to be make sure that I practice self-care, because those things have already happened. I can't change it. I can't make it right or make it better. Those things have already happened. But what I can do is become knowledgeable and wise and attentive. Certain things like that don't happen again. But welcome to the light room. Check in, man. Check in with your green heart. Check in with your green heart. Let me do some things here. Go ahead and check in. You know what to do. Share this live. Share this live with your family and friends so they can be a part of this conversation. Be sure to share your comments, right? Put your input in here. I want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. We want you to be a part of this conversation. So check in to the light room with your green heart. Share the live, right? Share the live. Come into the space. Be ready. Get you a notebook. We have a certified life coach in the green room who specializes in self-care, right? And this isn't just any old certified life coach. I can't wait to get into the conversation. But y'all come on in here. Come on in here, right? Share this live. Share with your family. Share with your friends. Share it in the group chat. Share with your cohort. Share with whoever you know who does a lot, who has seen a lot, who has been through a lot. And, you know, you tell them you need to take care of yourself, and they don't know how. They don't know what that looks like. They don't know how important self-care is. Share this live tonight. All right. So that they can be a part of this conversation. They can get the support that they need. What time is it? Because I want us to get as much meat from this conversation as we can. All right. So I am Marquita Dorsey, your mental health advocate and coach, but you can call me Coach Quita D. I am here to have a conversation about self-care. Something that seems so far-fetched for many of us. I don't have time to rest. I don't have time to, take care of myself. Think about that. You don't have time to take care of yourself? Nothing. Hey, Simone, nothing should be more important than taking care of yourself. Because if you break down, then who's going to take care of all those important things? Check into the light room with your green heart so that I know you're here. I'm going to go ahead and go to this green room because, again, we're fancy in the light room, right? We have a green room. I'm going to go to the green room and I'm going to pull her from the green room and we're going to have this conversation. And I want you all to engage in this conversation. Thank you for the green hearts. My Grammy Yam mama is here. Hey, Grammy Yam. That's a part of my self-care, right? Sometimes because I told my mom today, I don't like being no long distance Grammy. We got to work this out. But I watch videos of my babies and that gives me what I need. So you got to find something to help you take care of yourself. But I'm not the expert tonight. I'm not. And I want you in this space being educated, being empowered and equipped, right? So you can support yourself and then support those that are around you. So I'm going to go to the green room. I'll be back while I'm in the green room. Share this live, right? Get your questions ready because we're going to talk about self-care. And I have an expert that's going to help me talk about self-care. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her to the stage. Coming to the stage. Drum roll, please. That's my drum roll. Hey, see what I'm saying? Coming to the stage. I had a drum roll and everything. Coming to the stage. On the stage is Mrs. Sharoslyn Benton. Now, let me tell y'all something. Shawtown in the house. When I tell you, I can get people from all over the world, and I would be absolutely appreciative of every guest that come across the light room. But there is something absolutely special, baby, when they come from Shawtown, Mississippi. When they come from Shawtown, Mississippi, there is absolutely something special in my heart about it. And this beautiful soul here is from Shawtown, Mississippi. We both graduated from Shaw High School. We grew up in Shaw, Mississippi. So we're here to have a conversation that I'm delighted to have. And I'm so happy to see her, in this space, not just out here helping everybody else, but starting with self. And so tonight we're going to have a conversation about what does it look like for her when it comes to self-care? And what is it that she's telling people, teaching people when it comes to self-care? So y'all go ahead. Again, I'm going to ask you one more time. Share this live. Okay? Fill up the room. Get your questions ready. Be a part of this conversation. This is a non-judgment zone. We don't do negative talk. We don't do, judge. We don't do any of that. If you are a mother, unmarried mother, married mother, if you are a father, you are a person and you don't know how to do this, please put your questions in the comment section and we will address them. But you know how I do in the light room. I introduce my guests the way that I know them, then I allow them to introduce themselves. Again, she's from Shawtown, Mississippi, so that's enough in itself. But listen, y'all, she's slick famous. Okay. What they said on Coming to America, get her own money. The girl is famous, y'all.
I'm trying to get that, Quito.
She's been on the stage with Steve Harvey. Okay. Steve Harvey. So I was like, I see the little clip and everything. Now, then I was like, wait a minute now. Not the Family Feud. They've been on Family Feud. So y'all not just sitting before anybody. You're sitting before a certified life coach who has been on stage with Steve Harvey. Okay. So that's how I know her, right? I know her family. She knows my family. We family. But that's how I know her. I'll share that and I'll allow her to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Sharoslyn Benton. I am a certified life coach. Thank you so much, Quita, for that introduction. Like she said, we are native of Shaw, Mississippi, and I really appreciate you, Quita, for reaching out to be a part of your platform. So thank you so much for that. As she said, I am a certified life coach. My specialties is self-care. One of the important things that I like to always iterate is how important self-care is. Self-care is so important because it helps you to become the best version of yourself. Self-awareness, self-compassion, self-love. And I noticed that we don't take our time for ourselves, and that causes a lot of problems throughout our life. And I can say that is because I've been through it. And like I told Quita, I'm gonna get a little personal here. Sometimes I'm gonna step off script. I'm gonna just go, dive into my life story A lot of people ask me why I smile so much. I haven't always had this smile, so I just want to kind of put that out there. But I actually went through a depression in my life. I went through a depression in my life, and I can honestly say it was a long time. I couldn't see clearly. It was so dark. The path was so dark for me, and I always promised God that if He bring me out of that, I would not go back. So, like I told Quita earlier, I do things to make me happy, the things that make me smile, the things that bring joy to my life. If it's not bringing peace or happiness to me, then it has an exit door, basically. So it's just good to be aboard with Quita. I'm just gonna go with the flow with her as far as in that. But welcome, you guys. Come on in, give them green hearts for Quita. Get them green hearts. Let us know you are there, and we definitely want you guys to engage. I want you guys to really, really, really listen because it's very, very important.
Now, y'all ready? You understand? Come on, introduction. Come on, laying it out there. Come on, letting y'all know what we're about to get into. And you named out so many intricate terms, self-compassion, all those things for you. And I know a lot of times people will say, it's better to give and receive, or they'll put all this emphasis on everything outside of themselves. But I'm a believer, and I know that you are too. And the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. As yourself, right? And if I don't love myself, then it's going to be quite difficult to love and care for my neighbor properly, if you will. And so you said something that, like, self care is so important. One of the things that kind of make me nervous a bit in the spaces when people, and not to yours, but like when I see comments where people say depression is real, self-care is this and that, and it's like a cliche type thing, but you and I both know from the inside like how real it gets. And so
Yes.
you mentioned that you've had your own experience with depression. I've shared here on my platform from day one to this one. I've had my own medical diagnosis with anxiety and depression. So from the
Mhm.
inside, I understand it too. And just like you, I told God when I was in that darkness, if you to get me to that light, get
Yes.
me to that light. And I here I am just wanting to bring more people to the light. So I want, if you will, since you're a whole life coach who specializes in self-care, I think telling us where you came from to get to that point to specialize in self care will be important. So, talk to us about what led you to the space of realizing self care is so important.
Absolutely, Quita. So like I mentioned prior, I went through a real bad depression in my life. A lot of people don't know the signs of depression. Sometimes it's good to get help when needed. Sometimes people neglect that. That's the main focus, and I think that was one of the things for me. I was going through a depression. It had got so real to the point that I never just wanted to really just get up. I used to lay around, lodge around, procrastinate, laziness. Um, and it got so real to the point where you know how you be in a space and you just like you push everyone else away. It's like your mind is just clouded, and it's just like you want to get out of it but you can't. And how do you get out of it? I pray. I used to always say, Lord, do you hear my cry? And it's a good statement that God may not come when we want him to, but he's always on time. During that dark spot in my life, I it was a lot. I had my family beside me. They understood, so they kind of like took on a lot of things. Like as far as my attitude was horrible. I'm not gonna lie. My attitude was horrible, but it was like I was just so in that darkness, and it's like you in a tunnel. It's just like you see the light at the end of the tunnel, but how do I get there? It's like I can't move. My legs won't move. It's not moving in the direction I want it to move. And then when it do start moving, it's like I get deterred back to where I once was. But what brought me to self-care is first thing I had to learn was to love myself first. that's the thing that people don't understand. You have to love yourself first. You can't say I love this person or that person or love this or that first. If you don't love yourself, you have to love yourself. And that's where the first thing came about. I had to learn to love myself. Although I used to dress up and on the outside I may look good, but deep in my heart, I wasn't there. I just wasn't there. And I'm just going to be honest, and I can talk about it now because I'm at the healing journey. I never really just got to the point where I wanted to see a therapist. Like, I am actually seeing a therapist now, Dr. Sandra. Thank you for your help. So it's just like many things. It's very beneficial when it comes to self-care. I didn't know. So I started researching it, and I was like, maybe this can help me. And it did. It did. I started to become personal with myself, started taking care of myself, not just on the outside, but mentally, physically, emotionally, because all of those play a huge part. Because like I said, everything that look good on the outside is not good in the inside. And you want to come with the full package. You want to be right on the inside and outside. You can't come half stepping when it comes to self-care. And like I said, the depression was real. A lot of people don't understand depression. Depression is definitely real, and you definitely need to know the signs of depression. You know, I had people around me depressed, never just really experienced one of the, tragic things in my life as far as in depression, but it's definitely is real. You understand yourself. When you understand yourself, it's powerful. You become powerful. Loving yourself is freedom. Like, you free from everything that's been weighing you down. Forgiving yourself is peace. And that's where I'm at. I'm at peace. I used to hold a lot of grudges in my life. I used to dwell on the past. I allowed the past to control the future, and I couldn't live. I was stuck in the past, like childhood trauma, just a lot, breaking generational curses. But when I forgave myself, that's when the peace came. And then being yourself is authentic. Like, you have to be yourself. You can't portray to be somebody else that you're not. Because once you start trying to live your life based off someone else's or trying to be like that next person, you definitely will be in for a rude awakening. You won't ever be happy for one thing.
I'm over here taking notes. I'm over here. I'm over here popping down notes as I hear it because you said it's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So you become powerful when you learn to love yourself. And I had a therapy session this
Yes.
morning as well. Shout out to my therapist. Thank you, D. But and it is
Yes.
power when you know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You know what you desire and what you don't desire. So you don't find yourself falling into those things that are not in alignment with your life's vision and your life's goal. So you're not dealing with going home, saying, dang, I really didn't want to do that. And now you've wasted hours or days or just some emotional energy on something that you didn't even want to be a part of. Right. And so that's not taking care of yourself. I know sometimes people say, I'm a people pleaser and all that. That's, if nothing else, and I'll tell you that from experience, that right there will run you to the ground quicker than anything. That will have you
It
depressed quicker
will.
than anything when you're saying
You
yes when you
do.
really want to say no, or saying no when you really want to say
Mm-hmm.
yes. And that's because,
Yes.
like you said, you haven't come to that place of empowerment within yourself where you can say, I love that for you, but that doesn't work for me. I love
Absolutely.
that for you, it doesn't work for me, and I'm going to pass on it this time.
Right.
So you're right. You become very powerful when you learn to love yourself. What are
Exactly.
some other
I'm
things?
sorry. Go ahead.
What are some
And
other
I want to
things that?
piggyback up.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Go
okay.
ahead. It's,
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you say what you're
look,
saying.
I want to piggyback on what you said when you said learn to say no. I think that is one of the biggest thing um, that can change a person's life, Guido. Learning to say no and not feel guilty about it. Like, I know you probably want to say yes to everything or be there for everybody, but when the shoes is on the other feet, everybody's not there for you. Like, you break your neck for other people. Yes, 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 yes. And then they just yes, yes, yes you to the ground. And then when it's your turn to get get that yes is what a yes is at is all no's, or I can't do it, it can't come through for you. And then that become an issue with you itself, because it's like now you're like, oh, I feel some type of way because when I step out for you, you can't step out for me. So I'm glad you mentioned that no is a powerful word, and sometimes we just got to learn how to say no without feeling guilty.
We have to. And if anybody who loves you makes you feel guilty because you said no to them, you may want to check what love looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes.
there's respect that comes with accepting somebody's no. There's a level of respect that comes with saying no, right? Because if I love you, you know, I don't want to have this underlying animosity with you either because I said yes when I really wanted to say no. And so I'm
Yes.
slick kind of side eyeing you because like I really don't want to be here, but I want to hear your mouth, so I just said yes. And that's
Exactly.
just not fair. It's just not fair to the entire relationship. And I know some people, many people in our community, in our culture, especially women, especially Black women, we struggle to say no because you know I have to be the one, and I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But what about your feelings, baby?
Exactly. I don't want no one mad at me. Okay, let them be mad. Sometimes you just got to say no. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Learning this, the irony that this was literally a part of my conversation this morning with my therapist. The power, the way that I took my power back, right? Because one of the
Mm-hmm.
first places where we become disempowered, unfortunately, in our community is in our childhood. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about generational trauma and generational curses and things like that, if a if the head of a family, say grandmother or granddaddy, um, suffered to their parents because they couldn't say what they want to or needed to their parents. So when they have children, they become overbearing and to the point of sometimes being abusive to their own
Mm-hmm.
children. And so you end up subconsciously stripping your children from their voice because your
Yes.
parents took your voice. And
Yes.
so as a child, that's where you learn. That's where you learn how to do what's best for you and what's not best for you. But if the people who are in authority over you take that away from you, and they do that for 18 years, 19 years, 20 years, man, when you're 25, you have no other choice but to be a people pleaser, right?
Exactly.
You have no other choice but to be a people pleaser. And so how did self-care like really become a niche for you? Because I know in this mental health thing there are a lot of ways to go. How did you say, well, I'm going to focus on self-care?
To it got to the point where it's just like a change need to be done. Like a change had to be done. If not, Quita, I would have been still in the same spot. To be honest with you, I got to the point like I said, I prayed and I started journaling a lot because the journal kind of helped me to deal with my emotions, putting it on paper versus speaking it out loud. Because sometimes, it's okay to talk to family members, it's okay to talk to friends, but when you journal and you basically talking but silence with words basically, but it's still being heard because even when you write and you seeing what you write. So it kind of helped me to deal with my emotions a lot, deal with my mental state a lot, because I can be in a dark spot. I get to write and I feel much better, to be honest with you, besides praying too. But I had to. It was no way around it. It just was no way around it. I was just tired of the way I was living. I was tired of always being, my energy was drained. Like my energy was so drained. That's why I told you, they always say, you always smiling. That's why I smile because like I said in the beginning, I promised God that if He get me out of that dark spot in my life, that I won't ever go back. So, like I said, I try to do things that make me happy. Don't get me wrong, I'm human. So, of course, I make mistakes. Of course, I still get mad, but it's not to that extent as to I'm depressed for 2 or 3 days. After it, I can just pray it over or write it out
Yes.
that day and I can overcome it. So, that is something that kind of helped me, to kind of overcome it. Just looking in the mirror one day was like, hey, I have to do better. I have to do better. I don't want to continue to live my life. I felt like, Quita, to be honest with you, I felt like I was just existing. I was just existing
Mm,
in this world and not living.
mm.
So did I have a purpose here on earth? I used to always question myself, what is my purpose? You that's what my book is about. Because I'm a first time artist coming up. So my book is coming out. The name of my book is She's Not All That, Just a Girl from Mississippi. So it'll be coming out shortly. But in my book, I talk about how um don't just exist in this world, because you got a lot of people that just, it's like mediocre. Like you get up in the morning, you know you got to go to work, you know you got to do this. It's just like redundant every single day. Redundant. It's like a remote. Press play and they playing, and then you stop, go to
Same
bed, go to
joke
sleep, get
today.
back up, rewind, play again. So it's like you don't want to just exist in this world. You want to have that purpose. If you don't know your purpose in life, it's okay. Pray about that purpose. And eventually, you know, you'll figure it out what the purpose is. And once you find that purpose in life, that kind of help motivate you to, you know, become the best version of yourself as well. So that is something that like just shot all over me, because I'm like, okay, I know I got a vision, I got a dream, I got goals that I want to accomplish, and I'm doing that, you know. But at first, I had to step, I had to step aside and let God take full control over my life. Not 75%, not 80%, not 50, 100% control over my life. And I asked Him to allow His will to be done in my life. And from there, that's when my life began to, you know, go down the path that I wanted to go, because I felt like I was trying to control everything within myself versus allowing Him to control my life for me.
Wow. Man. That's good stuff, right? That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And so to speak to the not just existing,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that breaks my heart the most, I was in that space. Like you said, I was a young mother. I had to do what I had to do to take care of my child. And so it was like boom, 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 same thing every day. Boom, boom, boom. No true vision or no true focal point except to get done what needed to be done today. And
Yeah.
how I want to use the word detrimental. How detrimental is that to a person's mental and emotional health to continuously live that way?
It become damaging, to be honest with you, because it's like a full cycle. It's like it's the same cycle. Like how can you, that's just like a person, they want to change, but how can you change if you're doing the same thing? For I use this example all the time, even when I talk to some of my clients. It's like you give nothing to people that smoke. I just want to put that disclaimer out there. But if you are a smoker and you say, "Oh, Sharoslyn, I want to change. I don't want to smoke no more," but you're doing the same thing every day. You go buy cigarettes or you go outside and smoke. What is it different that you're doing to change? Like you can't change. It's just not gonna pop up and say, "Hey, bam!" Like a magic pill. You finna change. No, you got to take those steps. You got to first. You got to start. You got to make a plan first. How I'm gonna change? What?
That's it.
Find some examples of ways that you know I can change your smoking. You know, because you got to fail to realize too. I want to put this out there. What works for you, Quita, may not work for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like a patch may work for some people to stop smoking. Just isolating yourself from just smoking altogether. It's just different things. So you have to know, because I can't speak for everybody because I'm not in their shoes. People tend to always say what they would or wouldn't do unless they actually happen to you. So that's why I can't speak for folks. So you have to make that plan yourself. You have to figure out what it is that I can do to change, because if you're not changing, it's gonna be the same thing. And then if it's constantly going on and on and on, like my life story, I'ma still be in the same state, and I'm not gonna be able to move. I'm not gonna be able to move forward in my life, because guess what? I'm still got I can have all of that weighing down on me. So that's it's just you gotta move. You gotta move. I know it's hard, and it's a fear thing too. Like I was afraid. Like, what if I do this and it doesn't work? But how would you know if you don't take that first step? So that's another thing that I tell people: you have to move. So it's very important, Quita, because if not, you will still be in the same state, and it causes more and more stress on your life if you continue to have the same pattern every day. Who want to sit there and work, come home, home to kids, cook, do this and do that, and not take care of themselves too. It becomes draining. It will drain you. So you definitely have to make changes within that.
I definitely have found it more difficult to do nothing. I find it some days when I've done nothing, and I'm just like, why am I so tired? I haven't done anything. Like I haven't done anything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just it.
Exactly.
Haven't you haven't done anything, and I thought that was just so interesting. And here's a comment that said, if you don't plan, you plan to fail, and that is so true.
Yes,
One thing I love about
that's
self-care,
true.
one thing I love about self-care and the empowerment and the power that comes with it is you get to decide, right? And I think so many of us unfortunately don't realize that we have the power with our words first, right? Like I could, like you said, I'll wake up tomorrow and say, listen, I'm not getting up today and doing the same thing I did yesterday that led to nothing. Because that's the thing. If it's not leading to anything, then yeah, we're cutting it off. So I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna say, listen, I'm not doing today what the same thing I did yesterday because it don't lead to nothing. I'm
Exactly.
deciding today
Exactly.
that I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna stop smoking. I'm gonna go to the gym, even if I walk around the gym 2 times. Right? I got up. I got dressed, and I started. Versus sitting at home every day saying, "I want to go to the gym.
Exactly.
I want to go to the gym," but you steady
Exactly.
gaining weight. You're steady eating cookies and snacking, and nothing's happening. 2 years are gonna pass.
Yep.
Period. But would you rather 2 years pass and you're a healthier, better version of yourself, or 2 years pass and you're still saying, well, I'm going to the gym tomorrow. Well, I ain't got no gym clothes. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how to lose.
Right.
All the things
Yep.
that keep us bound. Um, so
Yeah.
what are some self-care tools that you have in your toolbox that you use? Because I know my therapist will always ask me, what's working for you? What do you, I well, one of my previous therapists, she would always ask me what was in my self-care toolbox. And I would get annoyed by it first, like, girl, I already told you last time what's in there. Like, what? As time progresses and things change, I realize too, you need a healthy self-care toolbox, especially when you are in the helping profession. Anytime you have to hear about other people's
Mhm.
sorrows and worries throughout your whole day, like you're gonna need some stuff to pick you up. So what's in your toolbox? Maybe
Of
I can send
course.
it.
So, Quita, some tools that I use basically one, like I told you prior, is therapy. Staying connected. I have to stay connected because if I don't stay connected, I fall back into the same pattern. So I have to stay connected. Focusing on positivity. Instead of always, thinking negative of the situation, I try to think the best of it, even if I don't feel like it's the best. Thinking positive, it kind of helped the mind to stay positive. To be honest with you, you practice positivity, I kid you not, it will help the mind to stay positive versus negative. Relaxing, I try to relax a lot. Because like I told you before, I'm human, and of course I get frustrated, I get overwhelmed. Sometimes people call me, I don't even want to answer the phone. Text me. I prefer you to text me because I don't always like to talk. But another thing that is important to me as far as my tool is getting my sleep, getting my rest, because I feel like if I don't get my rest, I be cranky, and I don't want to be cranky. I want to be able to reset, restart, and rebuild for the next day. So I do want to get that sleep in, and I also try to my tool is practicing eating healthy. It's hard. It is hard because I love those cheeseburger from McDonald's or that Popeyes chicken, but I try to practice eating healthy because I always tell my husband, my kids, what we put in our body. If we take care of our bodies now, our bodies will take care of us later. That's just like a car. You take care of your car now, that car is going to take care of you. It's going to get you from point A to point B, sometimes C. But I try to eat healthy, and then I try to go to the gym a lot to exercise. Exercise is a good relief for me too, because when I sit in the sauna, it helps me to just sit there and relax. So just life is hard. Life is really, really hard. It can be very stressful, especially if just a lot going on from job, family, just a lot of things. So I just tried, those are a lot of my tools that I use. Hopefully there's tools that you guys use as well. But the most important thing is, even if it's just 15-20 minutes a day, you definitely need to practice self-care, some type of self-care. Even if you just go in a room, lock yourself in a closet and just relax, meditate. If you just go in the room and just write, journal, you just have to take out time for yourself. And when I interview a lot of people, my last interview, when I was just at this event, I asked one of the ladies, how often does she practice self-care? You would be amazed. She said, I don't know, probably once a month. And that broke my heart, because I'm like, I can only imagine how your life is right now. Like, you have to take that time out for yourself. But those are some of the tools that I use, Quita, to try to, just keep those good habits of self-care rolling around in my life.
And I love that those are tangible things that everybody has access to.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't say take a trip to Aruba. You
No.
didn't say go buy a Maserati and ride real fast through the city. You didn't say those things, right? Because sometimes when you think about
No.
self-care, it feels like this far away, far-fetched thing. Taking 5 minutes, for yourself. My car, baby, when I pull up and I don't come home to anybody. I know sometimes people come home to their house and there's children, husbands,
Yeah.
whatever there. So there's more noise. It's still me, but in
Mm-hmm.
my car is where I take a minute to just
Yes.
digress from the day, decompress, relax, all those things before I do come into my house, into my sacred space where it
Okay.
is peaceful. But those minutes, those moments matter to me. And so I'm
Yes.
glad you gave again tangible resources that anybody has access to. Take a few minutes in your car. Like when you're on your lunch break at work, like go to your car and have lunch, or go to the break room, right? Because some people,
Yeah.
maybe your job secludes you from your teammates while you're working. And during lunchtime, that's when you can go and socialize. Because you said earlier, staying connected. And
Yes.
I'm a firm believer in staying connected to your community.
Yes.
You know, what are some self-care practices for people in the social media space? We spend a lot of time here, whether we want to or not. Like COVID put us in a situation where this is how people had to connect, over the phone, over the
Mm-hmm.
computer, over Facebook, wherever. That's how you do it. But what are some self-care practices for people who are using this as a connecting tool as well?
Well, one of the most important tools for self-care, as far as in social media, I would say building relationships. Building relationships with others. That's, you just never know, because you on this platform, others on this platform, you just never know what they're going through on a day-to-day basis. So basically building that relationship with them, connecting with them, can help empower them as well, just like it is you. Because when it comes to the social media, people think it's just easy. It's not easy. It's a lot into that. You get a lot of backlash. You get a lot of uh, yeah, I'm quite sure you probably got a lot of negative comments, but you practice that gratitude. Just know that you got to stay focused. It's just like any other job. You have to stay focused. But the one tool I could tell anybody when it comes to that social media platform is to build those relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad you said that. I remember a time where people was like, y'all be on Facebook all day, like Facebook paying y'all bills. Well, now it is. Like
Right.
people are living off the Facebook, TikTok. They're getting paid, which
Mm-hmm.
makes it challenging as well, because for anything in life, you have to have perspective. Even
Mm-hmm.
self-care is a perspective, right? You
Yes.
have to have perspective, and some people come to social media with a unhealthy perspective, so you get
Yeah.
unhealthy results, right? But
Yeah.
I talk to people on the social media space like I've been knowing them all my life.
Yes.
Like, because I'm building relationships, I'm networking. I don't know where I'll end up in the world sometimes, but you want to be able to go somewhere and somebody knows who you are sometimes, and like you may
Yes.
need something. Go to Chicago and you may need something, but people follow your platform. Oh, well, I got you. You ever come to Chicago, or you ever come to Florida? something like that. So,
Right.
and of course, being safe as well.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
you better know who you're
Yes.
building a relationship with. So being safe, unless it's a
Yes.
family member, somebody you grew up with, be
Right.
careful. But it is a
Exactly.
place. It is a place. And some people get, they'll say you'll get support from people you don't know quicker than you'll get support from your own family or people from your hometown.
That's the
I'm a
truth.
knock on
And that's
wood,
the truth.
grass, or whatever. Thankfully, I've been able to share space with people from my hometown.
That's
Um,
good.
so thank God. Not wherever the wood at, I don't have that as a testimony. And then, like you said, even if people come to that space, I practice gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
I know what my goal is. I know what my mission is. I know why I do what I do, and it's not for me personally,
Absolutely.
right? So
Yes.
that's gonna be that. What are
Absolutely.
what else would you share with? Let's do it by gender. So if we were
Okay.
talking to men, if we were talking to men,
Mm-hmm.
black men, and I'm gonna specify black and brown men. At first,
Okay.
this platform was I was geared towards the African American community. Then I moved to San Antonio. And if you've ever been here, you'll know we're only 7% of the population, so I had to expand that. And my first
Right.
job here, my coworkers were Hispanic. Well, yeah, they were Hispanic. And so in conversation, building relationship, I realized some of our challenges are the same when it comes to mental health and emotional health. So I expanded it to the black and brown communities. And that's just to clarify why I
Mm-hmm.
said black and brown. But if we were talking to the
Right.
men of the black and brown communities who ain't got time for no self-care, they ain't got time to take no minute, because I have a Hispanic friend and I fuss at him all the time. I say, you have
Right.
to rest. He was like, no, Marquita, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'll sleep when I die. And I hate when
Oh
he say that.
no.
I hate when he say that.
No.
So help the brothers out. What self-care look like for our black and brown brothers?
I'm glad you said that, Quita, because that is something that that I love to talk about when it comes to men. I think people think that men can't practice self-care. They're human too, just like females. So it's not a gender when it comes to self-care. Self-care is for everybody. Now when it comes to men's, I think the three hardest challenges for them is, first of all, finding time, because the guys, they love to work so much, so it's like the timing is for them. But to talk about time, and you just gotta, guys, you have to find time to practice self-care. It doesn't matter if you just go get your toes did. I was sitting at the nail salon the other day, and I seen two guys coming in. I was just happy because I was like, oh wow, guys coming in the salon more often now. So yeah, that is,
Yeah.
you have to take that time. And then number two, guilt. And they feel guilty, like as if
Mm.
it's a gender thing, like, oh no, I want to do that, that's not for me. It's like they manhood. No, no, it's okay. It's okay to take care of yourself, because just because you're a guy, you have emotions, you have mental health as well. So don't ever feel guilty about taking care of yourself as well. Because if you're leading a family, this is for the husbands. If you're leading a family, sometimes it can get overbearing for you. You may not show it on the outside, but deep in the inside, sometimes it can get overbearing for you. And why not take time out for yourself to go somewhere to just relax? Even if it's going to your friend's house and kicking it with the buddies, you don't always have to stay at home with the family. Sometimes they think, just because I'm married, I got to stay at home. No, you don't feel guilty about taking care of yourself. And then the third thing I want to iterate with the guys is, you don't need validation. You do not need validation. And when I say you don't need validation, that means like, you don't need your partner to say, hey, oh no, dude, that ain't, no, I'm not gonna do that. You don't need validation. Go do it yourself. Go do it
That's it.
yourself. I promise you, you definitely will feel much, much better, guys. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourself as well. I see a lot of them getting their haircuts, because self-care can be different things. It don't always has to be mental or physical. It's just like anything that makes you happy, self-love, taking care of yourself. So guys, I want to see more of you guys taking care of yourself. I interview guys too now. So a lot of the times they do be like, I don't have the time. That's the Number one answer I get, Quita, I don't have time. Well, make time. Make time. Stop saying you don't have time. You have time. It's 24 hours in a day. If you had to get up 30 minutes extra to just meditate, okay? Take time for yourself, guys, okay? So that's something that I really want to say too. Thank you, Quita, for that question.
Wow. So we'll hold the gender right. We'll stay with the guys right quick.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Thank you for guys. I hope y'all heard that. You know, Jay said he got to be done last week. Listen, get those toes clean, my brother.
Yes, yes.
You know, especially you wearing the steel toes or the army boots and even dress shoes. Like them dogs be barking for them too. Get them things done. And I'm so glad that you gave them, and I will use the word affirmation. And you're right. And then to bring up guilt, I don't even know if I thought about that, right? A man feeling guilty because he's taking a minute to breathe and take care of himself. And as a helpmeet to a man, to my husband, I would want him to do that.
Yes.
I would want, and some of these podcasts are making it dangerous. They're making it dangerous for the Black and brown communities, for marriage and for love, because we put these unrealistic expectations on human beings. Yes. I know how things were. I know how you would like things to be, but you got to be honest about where you are and what it is. And at this point, proximity matters. If you're not in a country or in a culture where you are surrounded by rich men, then if you're with a man who's working hard and putting in the time that he can put in the effort, girl, support him.
Yes.
Two better than one. Support that man. And you support her. Y'all build this thing up together. But this dangerous pressure that's being put on men to do things that, it's just dangerous. So thank you for providing that that specific, gender specific affirmation. Guys, take care of yourself, man. Drink your water, sirs. And I know a lot of times you don't like going to don't like drinking water. They drink Powerade and energy drink, brother. Drink your water, okay? Drink your water. I know y'all want your energy so you can work, but necessary, get between the toes. Yeah, get between those toes. I have never gone. What's that? I have never gone into a salon. I didn't know men could do it. See.
Yes.
Men, I was in my early 20s when I met a man, a Black man, who got he got a manicure and a pedicure religiously, and I think he still do. And I was looking sideways at first, like, you full man, all man. But
men used to be afraid to go into the salon though, Quita, because of that. People think like, oh, they getting their toes and tails, then they stereotype them. Like, no, a man should not feel guilty for going in the salon and taking care of his hand and his feet.
He should feel clean, because that's what it is.
Yes.
He should feel clean. Oh, brother. I guess I'll take a second. And women, I ain't forgot, but I'm so excited that men are getting what they need, from the inside. And I know our fathers and grandfathers have carried a lot because they didn't know what to do with these emotions and feelings. And we ain't trying to soften the brothers up. We ain't trying to make them no crybabies or nothing, but we want y'all healthy. We need y'all to live a long time. We need y'all to know what to do with those emotions and feelings and that self-care so that you can be here to lead your families. So I'm going to go through and just check out a couple of comments, and then we'll talk to the women about self-care specifically. And so Lottie says, thanks for sharing the information with us. You're very welcome. She also said, a lot of people need to hear this, because when it comes down to self-care, they don't really know how to put self first. And man, we don't. It's not even something that's readily taught, because even as a little girl, you watch your mother put you, your siblings, her husband, the church, the school, everything before her. And you see that for all of your days. So when you grow up, that just becomes your second nature. And so it's important that we learn so that we can teach, so that things can be better. So you're right, Lottie. We have to do a better job. Jay said he got his feet done. He said, amen, the heavy is the crown. And he said that, when you talked about the guilt and how heavy it is when men are leading families, and how overwhelming it could be. Is this Dante? I find time to do self-care. I like to relax and listen to relaxing podcasts. I'm interested in visiting a rage room for listen. I can't wait. I can't wait. I don't know
Yeah.
who came up with that idea, but
Yeah.
a rage room. Shout out to you, Like, listen, I would rather you release your anger in a rage room than, in a place that's gonna cause you more harm than good. Yes, go to the rage
Right.
room. And they are creating spaces like that. You got the X throwing, you got the rage
Yeah,
room,
they are. Yeah.
the gun range, all these different places to release those, because it gonna come out your body one way or another. And that's what I tell
Exactly.
people when it comes to those feelings and emotions that they try to suppress. Sweet love, it's coming out one way or another, and you'd rather have some type of control over how it comes out. So,
Right.
um, Jay says, thanks for the tools. Very welcome, brother.
You're
Shawtown in the
welcome.
house. Shout out to him and his brother Ken. They have
Showtime.
a podcast as well.
Yeah, I
Revelation from
saw that.
Fear.
Congratulations to you guys.
No, Revelation
Congratulations. I
from
saw it one time, but you guys are doing good. I just have to find the time to
Fear.
definitely get more involved in it. I'm so proud of you young guys. I love it. I love it. Keep up the good
It's
work.
revelation through conversation, guys. Not
Yes.
revelation from the chair is Roger Richardson.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so yeah, him and his brother, and I did a podcast with them the other day.
Oh,
It was
cool.
a great opportunity. So yeah, put that sweet tea down. Listen, that's a man told y'all. He know what y'all drinking. Put that sweet tea down. Drink that water. Go to the gym.
Exactly.
It's not gay to groom. It's not gay to groom. Thank you, Nancy.
Yes,
You're right.
Nancy.
It's
Thank you.
clean. It's sanitary. It is
Yes.
sanitary. So get those toes cleaned out, fellas. And ladies, let them do it. We can go. I was uncomfortable my first time. Now it's a monthly thing. That's right. What's that? Have them raggedy toenails scratching you, legs up under the sheets. Mama. Mary Dorsey. Donna says, and thank y'all for these comments. And again, I knew this conversation would be important because of all the things that we've said tonight. And if you're just getting here, welcome to the Light Room. You definitely want to catch the replay because she has given out a lot of good nuggets, tangible. And I love the fact that you ain't got to buy a Maserati and drive down the highway.
No,
You ain't got to
no.
book a trip to Cuba to self-care. She has given us
Exactly.
tangible tools to take a minute, right? To breathe. And so Donna says, I'm guilty of it. I was in a shop and a guy came in, nails cleaner than mine. And my first thought was, he feminine, LOL. But guess what? It made me realize I needed to self-care more for myself. Yeah.
Yes, Donna. Yes.
Men are really coming into the manicure, pedicure, all the things, and they deserve it. Like, they got to take care of their bodies too.
Yes.
Lottie said another thing we need to break generational curses. And we do. And this right here, some people think is, and you will pray. If you the generational curse breaker, trust me, you gonna pray.
Yes.
You're gonna keep praying. But it's also moments like this, allowing your sons to know. Like when my son turned 16, that was my gift to him. That was one of my gifts to him. I bought him a gift card to the nail salon because, baby, the boy needed it. My son, he's an athlete, so cleats all the
Yeah.
time, shoes all the time, 3 pair of socks, just like, baby, mama love you. You go to the nail shop. And so that was his first time, and of course, he didn't want to do it, but now I see him taking care of himself, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure he does too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of the Brown Brothers podcast, RTC podcast. Definitely check them out. Great conversation. Okay, so, and I'll just continue to highlight everybody's comments. So as we begin to, the women. Now, me and we gave you your self-care tools. So if we had to speak specifically to women as it relates to self-care, what would you give us?
So to the women, as a woman myself, one of the things that I tell women all the time, it's okay to take a break. It's okay, you guys. As a wife, as a small entrepreneur, like I got my own small business, kids, my other job, HR professional. So I work 8 to 5 every day, Monday through Friday. Then I have my other job in the weekend, and the kids gotta cook and all of this. Sometimes I kid you not, I just get so overwhelming to the point I get attitude with myself. Sometimes my husband be like, "What's wrong with you? You got an attitude," and I don't even know why I got an attitude because it's just so overbearing. Sometimes you just got to say no, step in, like come on.
Yeah.
But with my daughter,
Yeah.
like we try to teach her how to cook, like find other ways to if you don't feel like cooking, let's go out to eat. It's okay to say no. It's okay to just take a break. It's okay. And that's what I tell people all the time. It's okay. You don't have to be he woman. I just because you in a relationship or just because you married. You don't have to be he woman because you can run yourself into the ground. Like I said, even with my mom, I'm just gonna go by experience from what I grew up with. My mom worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs, and she used to be away from the house a lot, Quita, and it did something to me because I know she had to work, and it's nothing against her. I knew she had to work, but it's that timing. The timing you can't make up for. Sometimes it's okay to say, like, okay, let me take a break. Let me just take a break. And for the women, you guys, you have to stay motivated. Having kids is hard. Um, I've been through it. My husband was like, "Well, one more child." No, 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 no. He said that for years. My daughter's 17 years old and I have a 4-year old. He begged me for years, but I said all this to say this. Take care of your body. Take care of your body. Your body's your temple, you guys. Ladies, exercise. Exercise,
Yeah.
get yourself together spiritually, emotionally. As a woman, you need to have your mental state together. If your mental state is not together, your kids can see that. I promise you they can see that mom is stressed, they can see that mom is going through a hard time. So try to keep your mental state together. And if anything in your life that is going wrong, try to identify what the problem is. What are some options that I can take to overcome this, instead of letting it linger on in my life and I have to go through that. So ladies, just make sure you take care of yourself, your body, just keep that mental health together, because you have to do it for these kids. Even if you don't have kids, you still have to do it, because we are very strong. Like, we're strong women. We have to put on that face for the world, and it's be hard sometimes. And be authentic, like be yourself. Don't be nobody else. Be yourself. Get up, dress up. Stop walking out the house with these. I'm not judging anybody. I just want to say this. Stop walking out the house with these scarves over your heads, lady. Let's walk out as queens. Let's walk out as beautiful individuals that we are. If you get your makeup done, do what make you happy, but let's be these beautiful queens that we are. Okay, let's stick together and let's be as one. Okay, so that's the best advice that I can give you guys, as far as in self-care and just self-compassion, self-love. Love yourself first before you get in those relationships, because if you don't love yourself first, ladies, you know what's going to happen. And then you're going to need that validation from that relationship to make you whole, and you don't need that. You love yourself first before you get into those relationships. Okay, back to you,
Ooh,
Quita.
she said back to you, Quita. That's so cute.
Because I could go on
Like
and
I
on and
said, I have
on.
a hard time. Girl, I understand when you're in that passion place, it just flows from you. And again, thank you for the work that you do as a life coach in the niche of self care, because I see it, I've lived it.
Mhm,
Sometimes I
mhm,
have to be careful.
mhm,
Being a black woman, being a mother, having wearing all these different hats, being called this, that, and the third. Sometimes you just need to be you.
mhm.
Sometimes you just need to lay in the bed and just rest. Don't answer no phone, answer no door, and just relax your mind and your body. And some days when you do go outside, put your
Yes.
lipstick on and go, right?
And
Go
go.
outside.
Yes, go.
I always go outside expecting to be on TV, so I try to.
Yeah.
I just
That's
know
right,
one day I'm
Quita.
gonna be on TV, so I just go outside ready.
Yes. Yes, of course. Like I tell my daughter all the time, she's like, I didn't know we was going here. First of all, you dress for no matter if we were going to the gas station. You just dress, you just never know who you're gonna meet at the gas station. So I tell her
That's
all the
it.
time, we go somewhere, dress as if you were going to meet Michael Jordan or um Michelle Obama or Oprah Winfrey, like just
Or
dress
John Legend.
accordingly. And I just, yeah. I have to tell her that all the time. She's like, I didn't know we was going here. Yes, we are.
Yeah. That image, like it matters. And I ain't talking about, like you said, no judgment to anybody. People have their own desires, but not
Mm-hmm.
the BBLs and not the altering of your bodies, but the
Mm-hmm.
enhancement, right? Throw
Mm-hmm.
on a little lip gloss, a little lipstick, do something with your hair. Like when you look good, you feel good, you know, period.
Mm-hmm.
You could be having the worst day, but when you get out the salon chair or when you get out of the mirror from doing your own hair, can't nobody tell you nothing for at least 24 to 48 hours. You
I
know,
know.
when you go to the hair shop, you want to talk with your hand for 24 to 48 hours. Can't nobody tell you nothing. So
Exactly,
make sure,
exactly.
you
And I want to piggyback on that too, Quita. Even with the BBL, if that's something women do, like just I'm just hypothetically speaking, I'm gonna talk to you about my experience as well. The BBL liposuction, if that's something that you want to do that enhances your lifestyle to make you happy, you go all for it. Just be consider as far as in your health, just make sure everything is good. Now, because I actually went through a cosmetic procedure, a liposuction. I kid you not, that was one of the painful experiences I ever had in my life. But that is something that I wanted to do for myself, Quita. And if you got the money and you got it, you guys go for it. I go for it. But you do what make you happy. Can't nobody judge you based off your lifestyle. People always tend to try to judge people. You don't know what that person is going through. That could probably change them for the rest of their life. Like, I'm not ashamed to say I had no liposuction. Honey, I had the money to get it. So don't tell me that my body is not going to be on cue. But then I do that once I got that liposuction. I had to stay in that gym too now. So don't think you're going to get that
that's it.
liposuction and not going to go in that gym.
That's it. Keep it tight, keep it right. Wow. Thank you for that transparency, and again, like you said, do what's gonna want to work for you as long as it's in good health and good faith and it's safe for you, because nobody got to feel any of the pain, the changes, the challenges, but you, but not for not to do it for anybody outside of yourself. But at the
Right.
end of the day, whether you're male, female, child, or adult, take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of yourself. Mothers, I know you got the babies and all the things, but if something happens to you, who's gonna take care of your babies?
Right.
That's when it's difficult for you to say no, when it's difficult because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or you just don't have it in you. Think about it that way. I'd rather say no now so that I can always say yes later.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't say no when you yes when you need to say no and vice versa, and you it just doesn't end well. So take care of yourself. Well, I want to make sure. Um, Thank you so much. This has been an amazing conversation. I'm so
Yeah.
glad we were able to come into this space. So, how can people connect to you? How can people reach you for your services? How can they connect?
So you guys can actually follow me on all social media platform at SCS Self Care. And my website for products and my specialist for in life coaching is www.scsselfcare.com. I will leave it, in the chat so that way you guys can have the information. I kind of changed the name because my name is my business name is Sensation Creation by Sharoslyn, but since it's so long, I had to kind of shorten it up a little bit. So even if you see SCS, that stands for Sensation Creation by Sharoslyn.
Awesome. Sensation Creation by Sharoslyn. Love it. Sensation Creation by Sharoslyn has been in the light room, baby. I am absolutely appreciative and I'm proud of you. I want to make sure
Thank
that I say
you.
that to you, to your face. I'm very proud of you
Thank
and
you.
the decision that you've made to have the life that you desire and the intentionality that you put in to make sure you continue to have that. So kudos to you for being the example of that which you talk about, taking care of yourself first.
Thank you.
So
Thank you,
just wanted to make sure
Quita.
I said that to you. So
Okay.
is there any last thoughts you want to leave us with before I send you back to your family? Tell your family thank you so much for allowing us this time to have. have you in the Lightroom.
Well, the last thing I just wanted to say is, you guys, just coming from a small town, coming to the big city, is a lot that I had to learn, that I wasn't taught, in my early childhood, and I had to learn a lot. So throughout this life, we're gonna be faced with a lot of, challenges. But I'm here to say that you don't have to stay where you are. You can move. You can move. And I think moving to Atlanta, Georgia was one of the best decisions that I made in my life. So it kind of helped me to become a better person, with the help of my father, my husband. Shout out to my husband, first of all. I want to give him a big shout out. This guy has been through it with
Yes,
me
come on,
through
husband.
thick and thin, Quita. When I was going through my highs, my lows, my
Yes.
depression, he was always there. I could spaz out. He was always there. And God always placed people in your life for a reason. And I think he's a counselor. So his little mellow spirit is just like
Oh,
shout out to you. Shout out to my daughter, my kids, my family, my friend, also Shawtown. You guys, I want you guys to stay motivated. Just continue to live life. And the last thing I want to say, do not just exist in this world. I want you to live. Don't just exist.
beautiful words. Beautiful word. Thank you, Mrs. Benton. Thank you to your awesome husband. Thank you for sharing in this space. Continue the work that you're doing. We see you. We appreciate you. She'll put her information in the comment section. So if you want to connect with her on that level, if you're in Georgia, if you want to do it virtually, whatever the case may be. But to those of us from where we're from, we love y'all, right? Whether you stay in Shaw or leave Shaw, greatness is still within you. So I'm gonna let you get back to your family, and you have a good
Okay.
night, and let's stay connected.
Thank you so much, Peter, for
All
this
right.
time. And I'm proud of
Thank
you
you.
as well. And you have a good one, okay?
You too, honey. Thank you.
Bye.
I just love y'all. I love the Lightroom. So thank you again. I wanted to read something that I saw in the comments that Dwayne said. And I'm gonna end in that space. Thank you all for checking into the Lightroom. If this is your first time, or if you're in here every time that we're live, I absolutely appreciate it. I don't take it lightly. The space that I have, the opportunity that I have to pour into people, um, what God has poured into me, and what He continued to pour into me. You deserve the light, and the world deserves to shine, to see your light shine. So sit down with yourself. Take It's bigger than a cliche, man. Mental health is real. It's bigger than a cliche. Depression is real. It's bigger than a cliche. She says so many good things tonight. And so again, go back and watch the replay, or I hope you took notes, but please don't walk away from this thinking, oh, this was just another live. This was just another conversation. There were things in there to help you make a decision today to change your life. And I know a lot of the reason that some of us haven't done it, can't do it, or haven't done it yet. I ain't gonna say can't do it. Haven't done it yet is what Dwayne said. She said you can't pour from an empty cup. That's real. If you want to know what that really looks like, sometimes you need a visual, right? Oh, I don't even have a cup. Sometimes you need a visual, but go in your kitchen and get a cup. Oh, go in your kitchen and get a cup. And I hope you're thirsty. Remember this when you're really thirsty. Go in there and get a cup and try to pour water to quench your thirst in another cup, and watch how nothing comes out. That's how vital it is. And that's what it looks like when you try to give something that you absolutely do not have to your children, to your spouse, to your job, to yourself, to God in ministry. You can't give, true praise and worship if you don't have anything in you. She said, we play he, woman a lot. Self care is so important. I declare, recently I've been saying self care, where have you been? And I thank God for it. Listen, ain't nothing above it, ain't nothing better than being able to take care of yourself. It is a true blessing when you can choose every single day to get up and take care of yourself. yourself. So I advise each and every one of us, men, we love y'all. I know your granddaddies and your uncles and all of that. They've carried so many things on the inside of them. And I'm going to tell you now, it has deteriorated them from the inside out. It doesn't have to be you. I ain't telling you to cry all over the internet about what's going on. I'm encouraging you to seek proper support. This is where trained therapists and counselors can come in to help you know what to do with those emotions and that frustration that you're feeling. Share the load, guys. Share the space. If you're in partnership, whether you're married or not, but you're in relationship, if you are parenting and co-parenting, those children need both of you. They need both of you. Get yourself healthy so that you can co-parent well and your children can be healthy. That's your legacy. That's your lineage. That's your reflection. So what you put in is essentially what you'll get out. And I would encourage you, I would urge you, when I became a mother, I thought it was one of the best assignments God could have ever given me. And I did not take it lightly. I still don't take it lightly. So take care of yourself. It's Black History Month. If you don't know, it was Negro History Week initially. And I know some people say it's in February because it's the shortest month. That is not why we have Black History in February. It's in February because it's also the same month that Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln celebrate their birthday. That's why Dr. Carter G. Woodson chose February as Black Negro History Week, which essentially became Black History Month. We cannot let our history die. You don't have to relive it. If you don't know it, you'll relive it. Trust. Learn it. Teach it. Right? Your children need to know from whence they came, not just the struggle. Not just the struggle. Because, baby, we powerful beyond our own understanding. We're powerful. So I love y'all. Happy Black History Month. Rest well tonight. Drink your water. Feed your body. Take care of your body now so that it can take care of you later. That's what she told y'all now. Some self-care tips. Say no. No. Get in the mirror every day and say no. So you'll know what your lips need to look like, how it sounds. No. So somebody come up and ask you for something that you don't want to do, it's already automatic. No. Practice if you have a hard time saying no. Okay. And that is all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you for joining the Lightroom. Share this live. I know something has been shared that left you educated, empowered, and equipped. This is our goal. This is our mission. This is our purpose. Good night.